Blacks getting killed every day and taken away. Years ago, they shipped us to different regions. Nowadays, they lock us up for no reason. Stop it, yeah. Stop killing us.
We say Black Lives Matter, and it's sad, but it's only getting sadder. We tryna shed light on our lives and how we get deprived of our God-given rights. Yeah, hands up, hands up, yeah, hands up. Don't shoot, hands up, don't shoot, cause we mad.
Heavenly Father, we boldly come to your throne of grace, Lord God, asking that you wash us in your blood, forgive us of our sins, known and unknown, creating us a pure heart, renew the right spirit within us, Lord God. Lord God, we're boldly coming to you, Lord God, asking that you have your way. We do this only to give you the glory and the honor, Lord God. Please touch us, open up our hearts, give us what to say or what not to say, Lord God. Have your way. Touch our keepers, all our subscribers, Lord God. Anoint and bless our channel. In the mighty name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Okay.
So, the point of this vlog is to educate our viewers and educate our Black viewers and also our other races, because not everyone knows what this date is. And, you know, we celebrate it, but I feel like now it's extremely important because of what's going on in this day and age that we take the time and explain to you guys what's going on.
Exactly. So, just a little bit of the back history. So, about Juneteenth. Just so you guys know, I jotted down some notes and I'm going to be reading from them. So, slavery did not end with one quick action. After President Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation to change the legal status of enslaved African Americans, this document applied only to enslaved people in the Confederacy. So, basically what happened was the Union Army had to personally deliver the news to the states who had not yet received the news. So when they did get the news, the slaves had mixed feelings, and not only did they have mixed feelings, as so did the slave owners. The slaves didn't know what to do from there, and the slave owners, they didn't know where they were going to get their free labor from.
Yeah, so the reason why the slaves didn't really know what to do from there was because they didn't have money to buy houses. They didn't have anywhere to go to like live or anything, and who was gonna feed them? Like, they were literally slaves. So yeah, they were free, but what could they have done?
Yeah, like what is freedom but with no resources?
Exactly. So 150 years later, we're celebrating. And we celebrate with food, music, and we celebrate all over the world.
With Jubilee.
Exactly. And today, this is our Freedom Day. But we celebrate it every day.
But we're just shining a little bit more light on today, showing awareness.
Exactly. So, today we're going to get into a couple of questions. It's been a lot going on in the world here lately, as you can see. So, the first question is, how do you feel about George Floyd? Does anyone want to make a stab at it first, or should I go? Okay, so for those of you who do not know what happened to George Floyd, he was wrongfully murdered. He shouldn't have been killed. Basically, a police officer had his knee on George Floyd's neck and killed him. He could not breathe. So basically, the killer could be convicted, and I believe as of today, he is convicted. However, it's a possibility he will receive over $1 million in benefits over the next 3 decades, according to CBS News. The former police officer charged with killing George Floyd is still eligible for pension as of June 14th, 2020, according to ABC7.
Whoa.
Yes.
And that's mind-blowing.
It is.
To say that he will still be eligible for pension after killing a black man.
An innocent black
It's like,
man.
what justice is in that?
Right. And even to say, like, oh, because people are saying, oh, what he was doing at the time was wrong. It was illegal. Okay, so that means to kill him. It means to wrongfully kill him in broad daylight. The boldness of literally taking a life. And it just, and then people wonder why we say Black Lives Matter, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah, so how I feel about the situation is sick. To this day, I have not watched the video. I just can't see stuff like that being done. And I feel like if I were to watch the video, I would want to go out and protest. But I'm not doing that because these protesters are getting injured and stuff like that, and I just don't want to be in that mix. But yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
No, it does make you feel some type of way when you see it. It does invoke a strong passion, but you have to be careful because
It might turn to anger.
it
does turn to anger.
It does turn into anger, and you have to be careful because it's like other races that are not black doesn't depict, that one incident doesn't depict all the other races. But when you watch it, and then when you're confronted by it,
Right.
you got to be careful because it will make you feel some type of way.
Absolutely.
You
I
know,
agree.
yeah.
Because me and you, we work. We're dealing with all types of races, so we can't, be in the store. And I'm an employee. I'm supposed to help everyone that comes up to me. I can't, discriminate against another race because of what's going on in the world. That's just is wrong.
Right.
But it's causing, it is causing a controversy.
It is.
Because you have people who are, definitely a part of the movement and Black Lives Matter, and they're wrong, but it's causing a controversy.
It is.
It's pros and cons to it, but voices are getting heard.
Voices are getting heard.
Absolutely.
Voices are getting heard.
I want to say something about the next question.
All right, so let's move on because we can go on and on about George Floyd. I'm just glad he's at least being convicted, but I want more to come from it.
Yeah.
Definitely not a pension, definitely not benefits,
Yeah.
but the protest has done something.
Yeah.
So let's move on to our next question, which is, what do you think of the riots?
I remember, this is a story, I was talking to my boyfriend about it when it first started, how all these people were looting these stores, and I was like, Brian, it don't make no sense. I think it's just so stupid that you're targeting all these stores, all these corporations that have absolutely nothing to do with the murder, has absolutely nothing to do with this, and that. And later on, I just thought, I was like, it's separate things. There's separate groups.
Right.
There's the protesters being peaceful, and then there's the ones taking advantage of cops not being in those areas. So of course, I'm gonna break into the store, steal all the stuff because the cops is all the way down the street. Cops is in the next city. All of the cops over there. So it's like it's different groups. Because I was looking at it, and not only me, probably a lot of people are like, these protesters, these black people are looting, but it's not everybody.
It's not. It's not everybody. And how I feel about the riots is when there's protesters, riots. That's, if you do your history on protesting and riots, that it goes hand in hand. But what's happening now is, I did my little research, and when people were getting, caught, they're coming from all other states.
Right.
They're coming from other areas just to come and break into stores,
tear down Atlanta,
tear
down Oakland,
and
black meadows.
just to just to do that. So the part that I didn't understand is how you have other races joining the protesting, and you have other races in the rioting, but it's only giving the black people a bad name.
Right.
It's only making us look bad
because it's under the bracket
the
of
name
Black Lives Matter. So we're getting all of the backlash that comes along, all the negative publicity, all the negative media that's coming along with it, because it's under the bracket of Black Lives Matter. So other races are getting away with all types of just crazy rioting and all these types of things, but we're getting the backlash.
But then I also feel that way too, but I'm a manager of a retail store, and how I also felt, it's kind of scary because you have corporate calling me and everything of how to lock the store down, and we hear that they're coming there and all this stuff, and make sure you get all the employees out safe and everything like that. So it's like I have this like I'm for the protesting, amen, but I'm not for the rioting. So then it's like I'm
in the middle.
I'm caught in the middle. It's like I understand where all this passion is coming from, but then it's like, don't come to my store. But
I feel you, sister. I feel
but
it.
at the same time, it's just like,
because it's almost like you can't pick one without the other.
yeah.
It's like you get the protest, you finna get the riot. Because
Yeah,
like we
right.
said before, once you start looking at this stuff, just like the George Floyd case, it took me a while to even watch the video.
Yeah.
It's like once you watch it, then that's when anger is invoked. Like that's when you
Yeah.
feel the anger. So people aren't gonna act civilly
Yeah.
how we're able to
Yeah.
handle it, pray about it. You know,
Yeah.
that's how we're handling it.
Yeah.
They're gonna handle it in a way of I'm going out
By any means necessary.
by any means necessary.
Yeah.
Anybody finna get it.
Yeah.
So that's how. So you can't control what feelings come with what we're faced with
Yeah.
every day. We've
Yeah.
been seeing blacks murdered over and over and since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
This, like you said before, this can go all the way back to Emmett Till.
Oh yeah.
Like this is not nothing new. It's just being recorded.
It's just being recorded, and now it's different now because we're more educated now.
Right.
Back then, with Martin Luther King and stuff like that, we and in slavery, we weren't taught to know how to read.
Exactly.
So now we have our education to back us up. We have knowledge, intelligence. We have that to back us up, but we're tired of it.
Tired. Tired.
Tired of it. And the only thing is, the passion is, because then you have people who want to try to argue, well, all lives matter.
Right.
And I hear it.
I hear it too.
I hear you,
I hear
because
you.
yes, as a human race, all lives do
we
matter.
Right.
But today, it is Black Lives Matter.
It's Black Lives
Because
Matter.
we're faced with the injustice that comes with any kind of police,
Being
any
the
kind
skin
of
color.
So it's just crazy because Target was one of the first places that were looted during this protest, and I work for the Target Corporation, right? But things, there's a cause and effect. Things happen and other things happen. So I just found out, I think yesterday or something, Target has now made Juneteenth a paid holiday.
Right.
Wow.
So would that have ever happened if all this rioting, all this protesting,
Right.
all of this loot,
And
would that
that's
have
what I
happened?
was telling y'all when I was saying that, yeah, I'm not for the rioting and stuff like that, but it's change that's coming with it
Yeah.
that wouldn't have came.
Yeah.
Now I'm not for the violence, but again, it's really some change that's coming with this rioting.
And where I really start seeing the change is when I start seeing almost every business that I do my shopping.
Mhm.
When I say I've been receiving emails,
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter. When I saw the Disney Channel
For
for 10 minutes straight,
Yep.
but they did a whole segment of Black Lives Matter. It's sad to say through the rioting and the violence and stuff
That's
like that,
what I'm saying.
but I'm just saying that voices are being heard.
Mhm.
Mountains are being moved.
Period. Because without this, it would have been same old. People looking at us, treating us certain kind of ways. And then for the businesses that aren't speaking up and saying
Ooh.
something, that's basically saying that you guys stand with the injustice. So the businesses that are saying something, Target, Disney, Netflix, the list goes on for all
Yeah.
the businesses that are standing with us. That shows us if y'all bold enough to stand up and say Black Lives Matter, y'all bold enough to take the backlash that comes along with it.
Yeah.
Because people were saying places like, I believe it was Taco Bell, they fired a black man because he wore the mask that said Black Lives Matter.
Okay.
And they were saying that you can't bring politics into a workplace.
Okay.
So how do you feel
That's
about
a
that?
touchy-
Because you're in the corporate and
Yeah.
retail kind of.
They
so,
gotta be careful, because that's you can't fire nobody for that. That's like firing somebody because of their religion.
Exactly.
That's like firing somebody because they come to work with their hair covered.
The hijab.
Yeah, So
Very
if they
careful.
did that, brother man might got a case.
Brother man might got a case and no more tacos from Taco Bell. I don't know. I'm gonna put them on the list
Anyway.
because I already got
Taco Bell
H&M on the list because I'm still not cool with H&M.
Yeah.
coolest monkey in the jungle.
I
I ain't
haven't
shot
heard
their
anything
six.
about them
Haven't.
with Black Lives Matter. I haven't heard anything
Yep,
about
because
them.
they ain't for us.
So that's why the stores
They
that
gonna be next,
the,
Taco
the,
Bell.
the businesses that haven't said anything about
Y'all
Black
seen
Lives
it?
Matter, that's why I have to take my dollars away.
Yep.
And if you they're whether they believe it or not believe it, they're being smart. Because
They are, sister.
if you do your calculations, I think we come up to like $1 trillion.
Right.
If you accumulate all the black money out that we put out, I think it comes up to like $1 trillion.
Exactly.
And that's a whole nother segment, because if we start putting that back into ourselves, back into our communities,
Right.
back into us, we really gonna be unstoppable.
Exactly. The buying power of our ethnic group
Yes.
is so powerful. And the fact that we've done it before in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Oh,
They
yeah.
burnt it down.
Yep. Yep.
So if we did it then, we can do it again. We need to crowdsource our money.
Black Money Exchange.
We coming with that soon. Stay tuned. But we need to crowdsource our money.
Yes.
So let's move on to the next question. So, and we talked about what do you think about the protest? The protest, yes, protesting it seems like it doesn't do much, but it does. And we can see just with what's been happening now, protests all over the world.
Yeah,
It has definitely brought change by protesting and getting our voice out there and just showing unity. Like, hold on,
Yeah.
it's black people out here.
Yeah.
And it is white people, because there's been abolitionists. Yes, it's white people out there, it's
Definitely.
other races. We appreciate all of that for y'all standing with us on that too.
Definitely.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
In addition to the protests, I'm telling you, if these protestings and stuff didn't happen, moves would not have been made. Like,
Yeah.
the man who murdered George Floyd, he would not have been convicted at all. He would have went under the bush with paid leave,
Period.
and that would have been it. And even the other cops, nothing would have happened. So all this protesting, it is making
It's
a
making
difference.
a difference.
We do have a way to go, but it did something.
Exactly.
It did.
Do you have anything to say about that one?
Protesting is always in order.
Right.
You know, that's a civilian. Did I say that
It's a
right?
right.
Yeah, it's a right. You
right.
have the right to protest. The only thing that causes controversy is when the rioting comes in. But protesting, yeah, you have a right.
And people sleep on protesting. They think, oh, you're just out there in the streets and it's not doing nothing. But protesting has proven to be effective
You get enough
since
people?
when Martin Luther King.
Oh, definitely.
So it's proven to be effective, because how would we be where we are now?
yeah.
You know what I mean? So protesting, we're here. We're here with the protesting. Okay. So how do you feel about Breonna Taylor? So I do want to shed a little light for you guys who do not know about Breonna Taylor. She was wrongfully murdered. This will be what you would call the
Model
typical
citizen.
model citizen. You know what I mean? So people say, oh, if you act right, you won't get shot. If you act right, you won't get killed and in prison. She didn't do anything. Basically, she died after being shot 8 times during a no-knock search warrant. Killed. I believe she was a nurse. They literally came in, raided her house, and no drugs were found. So, what do you guys have to say about that? Disgusting.
Disgusting. Definitely wrong.
Inhumane.
Yeah.
Inhumane.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah.
No morals.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, it gotta be drugs in this
Evil.
house. You're black.
Evil. And that's what prejudice is. Now we always talk about racism but that's a prejudice. Prejudice is, since you look this type of way, you must be this
Right.
type of way. That's a prejudice.
Right.
You live in this area, no, it's drugs in there.
Gotta be.
It gotta be.
drugs. They black. It gotta be drugs.
It gotta be drugs. That's a prejudice. That's a premeditated assumption
Man.
of a particular race or a premeditated assumption of a particular group. I see 5 young black males They're in a gang. They're coming in here to steal.
Oh yeah.
No, I already know. That's called security right now. I already know they're coming in here to steal.
Yeah.
That's prejudice.
Right.
So I just want to shine a little light on that.
Shine it.
Yeah, and to that, the fact that they were able to bust in her house, no search warrant, and end up killing her shows that they have no fear. They're not scared because nothing's happening. Of course, they go in there with confidence. I'm getting away with this.
Yeah, it gotta be drugs in here, so that's
Ain't
what we're
nothing
gonna
finna happen to me. I got this badge and my skin color. They're white.
Yeah.
Because even after George Floyd, there was numerous deaths after him. Police brutality. Again and again and again. So it's like they're not scared because it's like, yeah, I'm gonna get paid, please.
Yeah.
So, and to just kind of like back up to the protest, it's beneficial because at one point we were not even considered a human. To see where we've come from now and to see some people still have this mind frame, sisters.
Yeah.
They still, it's like you look at a black person, it's just like a turn your nose up like they ain't worth nothing. And I'm really proud of how far we've come, and I'm kind of skipping to the end, but let me slow down. But just, so we're gonna move on to the next question because I'm getting riled up.
I like it.
I'm getting riled up.
I like it.
I'm fed up.
I'm
fed up.
We fed up.
So this is our way of really fighting against it just by opening. This is our way of fighting against it, just opening our mouth and using the platform that we have to be able to speak on this type of thing.
This injustice.
Straight injustice. So our next question is, how do you feel about all black deaths, period? And when I say that, I'm not just talking about police brutality, because we could talk about that all day, all night till the sun comes up. But I also want to talk about us killing us. I want to talk about deaths, period. I don't want to just talk about white and black crime. I want to talk about black on black crime as well. Because in order for us to move forward and deal with, and to unite and to deal with whites killing blacks, we need to focus on also killing each other. Because every time I turn around, somebody killing for a spot on the block, or some drugs, or even a girl. You know what I'm saying? So charity starts at home and spreads abroad. So we need some working on ourselves. And by me saying this, I'm not saying, after all that I said, I'm not saying what they're doing is wrong. But I'm trying to say, if we're going to talk about them, we need to shed some light on us too.
Definitely. Preach.
I got something to say.
Dope.
I have a rebuttal.
What's your rebuttal?
I seen this post today, and it was talking about how, yes, black on black crime is wrong and all of that, this, that, and the third, but when a black person kills another black person, that black person is finna serve jail, finna serve life. He going straight to jail.
Yeah, so
There ain't no question about it.
Yeah.
He ain't getting away with murder. And then when we look at the police brutality, that crime, paid leave.
Right.
But black on black crime, that black person, he's going to jail.
Yeah.
Right. Period, point blank.
So
I get that. But at the end of the day, wrong is wrong. So if we're gonna sit here and say, oh, it's okay if we're killing each other, but let a white person do it, now it's a problem. I just want us to have a clean slate and just say, killing ourselves, period, us dying is just wrong, period, point blank, whether a black person going to jail or not.
Yeah.
A black person should go to jail if they killing a black person, and a white person should too.
Yeah, they should have the same type of charges.
The same type of charges. I'm just saying we need to deal with what we doing in home, in our communities. We're breaking our communities down. Fathers being taken, brothers being taken, uncles being taken, and that's the hands of us.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying wrong is wrong. So what's your next rebuttal?
my next rebuttal is I absolutely agree.
Okay.
Wrong is wrong.
Okay.
Black on black is wrong. White on black is wrong. But I was just saying, like,
They going to jail.
they're getting
time.
Cause I was thinking, I was coming from justice. Black on black crime, they gonna get justice because the black man or black woman that killed the other black person is going to jail. We not getting justice with police killing black people. That's what I was saying. But both is wrong. But what's even more wrong is that we're not getting justice when it comes to white on black crime.
Yeah.
I feel you.
And not even just cops.
I feel you.
I feel both of y'all.
Okay.
I definitely agree with you, and I definitely agree
Okay, mediator.
with you too. But it just makes sense. It's like, yeah, but I feel like it's It's all a plan to me. Somehow it's all set up. We were talking about it earlier, how you were saying how back in the day, gangs were supposed to be protecting their community.
Right.
But then somehow and somewhere it changed into them amongst themselves, killing and fighting themselves. But I feel like but drugs play a major role on that too. If we really can get control on drugs, then that also will play a major role on the killing.
Right.
Amongst.
Because it's literally called the war on drugs.
Yeah.
And that's not only implemented, because drugs at one point was literally put into our communities.
That's what I'm saying. Look
A
where
game
these drug
plan.
stores
It
are.
was.
Look where these
Look where the liquor stores are. There's no liquor stores in
Up in
We live in
suburban
Brentwood.
areas.
Where's the liquor store?
There is no liquor stores.
You gotta go to Pittsburgh. You gotta go to Antioch.
Right.
Richmond, Oakland.
Right.
So that all plays a major part in that too. But I mean, in order for it to stop, it starts here. It starts with us shedding more light and awareness to like, y'all, we gotta stop killing ourselves too.
We gotta stop killing. That's
You
all
feel
I'm
me?
saying, y'all, because we can't point the finger at them without our thumb pointing back at us.
Ooh, that's a long thumb.
You know, we can't. So that's just what I'm saying. At the end, what I will bring out is that during these protests, there were gangs that actually united.
For sure.
During this protest, they've literally united. They tied up all their bandanas together and they united. So
They do that for music videos too. Blueface and YG?
they do that, and that's a good thing because they want to be in the music industry together and make that money.
Yeah.
So, and that's basically saying everything's all cool, everything's all good.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that, so even with that being said, gangs, there was some positivity that came out of it because gangs were united. Okay? So are you guys ready to move on?
Yes.
You have anything else to say? You want to go back and forth with me? You want to debate? Because I'm ready.
Black lives.
We're almost done with this, guys. So how far do you think we've come?
To give
I believe we've came
come to
very. She don't care about what I'm saying.
Okay, go baby. Finish it for me.
I'm a teacher. I'll let you finish.
A teacher.
Oh wait.
That's for sure,
Hey,
teacher.
but I was one of them students that really got up and really
Right.
gonna show y'all how it's
Finish
done.
it.
Okay, sister, go ahead.
So, how far do you think we've come?
How far do you think
I think we've come a very long way, and we have a very long way to go as well.
Right.
Because look it, we were literally slaves. So look it, guys, like we had came a long way, but we have a long way to go because we were originally slaves. Now look at us, living in mansions, $1 million houses, rappers, lawyers, doctors, and there are cops, things of that sort. We came a long way, but we got a long way to go, clearly.
And what I do want to say on that, that's beautiful how you said that. And I also want to shed light on, yes, we are these things now, but we have always been those things. Because let me let you know this. When they stole Africans from Africa, they didn't steal slaves. They stole nurses, doctors, scientists, mathematicians, kings, queens. They wasn't just stealing how they try to make it, how they try to depict us out to be slaves.
Like they just came in the wilderness.
And it was just
took
these
us.
wildebeest.
It was already established. Go look at them pyramids.
Go look.
They were black. We were black kings. You better research King Tut.
Period. You
Black kings. I come from a king and a queen.
Period. I didn't come from, like they try to make it sound like we
I'ma
just
get
came from just dirt.
For real.
And that's negative. Look at the pyramids. Look how their noses are chopped off.
To this day, they still do not understand how pyramids were made without having tractors and stuff like that. And they still try to make it look like Egyptians were not white, but they try to everything but black.
Everything but black. The first human being was a black man. Jesus is black. Jesus is black. But yeah, so it's just so much to say about that, and I think
I'm
lost.
sorry. I think I interject, but what I think he was trying to say was even the inventions.
Even the inventions.
They make it seem like
Yes,
they.
that was it.
Okay,
Thank
go
you.
baby, go.
Let the Lord use you.
You finish it.
But yeah, so even the inventions, they try to make it seem like, oh yeah, Bill made it.
Yeah.
You know, but no, it was definitely James.
It was us, but the white man or the master, which they took the patent. I think it's called a patent, and they made it seem like they invented it. Then they made the history books, and they got our kids thinking that they did it, but it really was us.
Right. And they did a job.
They did a job on us.
All I can say, they really did a job on us.
But if you do, but look at what the key point is. It's the knowledge. It's how we weren't allowed to know how to read, and they also separated us. They put the dad way over here. They put a mom over here. They put kids over here strategically. You know, so if they knew that that's how it could demolish us or destroy us, it's time for us to get back together. Now that we have our knowledge, now that we have our intelligence, it's time for our power, our strength comes from us uniting. Right. Not looking at, oh, well, she got it, now I can go get it. It's our as a people, as a race, it's time for us to come together.
Right.
That's their number one fear. I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna pass it to you. That is their number one fear, is the day that we all come together, make money together, build together.
Right.
Just that's their number one fear.
Right.
Now what were you saying, baby?
See, that's not coming together. Here, give it to me.
Give it to me.
That's not coming together.
Yeah, I heard that.
She's so mean.
Hey, I don't know if y'all heard, but if you did, hit the like button. Have you guys heard that Beethoven is supposedly black?
Yeah, I've been bamboozled.
The musical genius. If that's, I'm gonna have to do my own research in that and stuff. But if that's true,
like right now,
they done kept that information.
Because you know what, and this is what it has taught me. That's why we gotta teach, or when y'all have children, if you're gonna put them in public school, we gonna have to have a
look
school
how they
right
got
here
him
at
looking.
home.
This is what they're saying Beethoven is. This is who they saying he is. I'm so sick of them. I'm sick of it. I'm sick and tired. I'm sick and tired.
It's insane.
That's why we gotta teach our kids. We gotta teach them the truth. Cause the school, if you leaving it to the public schools to teach them the truth, please.
They ain't finna teach them nothing.
My kids done read a
Hey. All these years. Just a moment for Beethoven. Okay, y'all. Back to subject. We just had to give a little. You feel me? For Beethoven.
Beethoven.
All right. So we are actually coming down to. I never even got to shed light on that. What I wanted to say about how do I feel, or how far do we think we've come? I didn't even get to really say nothing.
Okay, let me see.
You did it?
No.
Felt like you were talking a lot.
That was you.
Okay, go.
But what I do want to say is we have came a really, really long way. But I do want to say that the prison system is.
Is she still?
Yeah, let's let y'all get in.
That's her.
I do want to say the prison system is the new form of slavery.
It is. Let them know.
I just want to see if you got something to say because I'm
Oh,
ready.
I do. I can attest to that because they make their money.
They making
It's a whole
money
system. It's a whole system. It's not just like you did a crime and now we locking you up. No, we out here looking to lock up whoever because it's a whole new $billion industry. Really,
It's literally
The more populated it is in these jails,
They are
the more
making-
money that they're getting.
and a lot of the prisons are privately. A lot of the prisons are privately owned. Do your research. Okay, so let's move on. Our last question is, what would you change for a better future?
Say that again.
What would you change for a
better-
I said it again to them
Because we was doing some crazy
okay.
stuff over here.
And the last question, I do want to say I've enjoyed myself with you guys. This is such a good conversation. Mind you, we talk like this.
Goodness.
Give me a kiss.
We talk like this all the time. We just really wanted to share this with you guys.
Yeah.
So,
Because y'all are
our family.
I'm
Okay.
with you.
So, what would you change for a better future?
Okay, what I would change for a better future, I'm gonna have to reiterate what I was already saying.
Mm-hmm.
We have to unite as a people.
Mm-hmm.
That we just have to. We need to unite in a business aspect. We need to unite families.
Mm-hmm.
We just need to. That's what I would change, and I think I actually would start off with trying to clean up our communities. I think that's a start. I think that would be a really good start. Like, and I'm saying that because I was just in Richmond today, and I literally was looking around like, now I know Corona just happened and all this stuff like that, but I just think that plays a major part in your mindset. If when you walk outside, how it looks. If you look at our communities now, our grass is trimmed, our everything is, and because the city takes care of that. You get what I'm saying? Now, I'm not talking about your lawn when you walk out, your personal lawn. I'm just talking about when you're driving down the street, all of where we live, all of that is trimmed and looking nice. I was in Richmond today, and I'm like, I need to talk to the city councilman or something, because it just looked like the city just let itself go. And I think it's time for us to take pride in our stuff. You feel me? So I guess the question is, what would you change for a better future? I would definitely start with just making changes in our youth, in their environment. It just really, I just think it really, psychologically, it really sets a tone.
Right.
And I also would just say for us to, as a people collectively, it's just time for us to unite.
Amen.
Drop the mic. Drop it again. Thank you. I believe I said this earlier, but in order for there to be changes, there needs to be a change in our justice system. Because when people see things going on, they believe they can get away with it. If they see that people are getting punished, why would they do it?
Yeah.
Right.
So
They're getting a slap on the wrist.
They're not getting reprimanded.
This was I feel like this was a starting point.
Yeah.
Because did Trayvon Martin's killer get sent to jail? So he didn't serve jail time. But this time, these cops, they're actually serving jail time. They got convicted.
Because we win. Yankee for Cocoa Puffs.
So it's like we just set the basis of something bigger, of something greater.
But you know, even though that it did make even though it did make an effect in this, you know, Black Lives Matter and the rioting and the protesting, but y'all know they trying to put Black Lives Matter as a terrorist group.
Right.
You know they trying to put us as a terrorist group when all we want is justice.
Exactly. But what I did find out is they're banning signs of the Confederate flag.
Okay.
You can't. Yeah, that's something new that they're banning, but they didn't say like the use of it in its all actuality is banned. But we're getting somewhere, and this happened after the riots. But what I do want to shed light on real fast is the fact that what I don't agree with the riots is us tearing down our communities and Black businesses.
Yeah.
A lot of Black businesses were affected by this. Like literally, totally affected. Totally, their place was totally looted, totally trashed. Good.
And that goes to show, as I was discussing earlier, it's different groups. There's the protesters, there's the leaders. If the protesters are out here protesting and then go burn down a Black business, that clearly shows it's not the protesters that are doing all of these lootings. Because that's contradicting the purpose of it.
Exactly.
So that clearly shows that it's two different groups, two different goals.
Or what would I change for the better future? I would change knowledge and education.
Definitely.
Just as far as what we need to know and the knowledge that we have. You don't have to go to college to even get a lot of the knowledge that we do have.
Yeah.
So people think to totally X out college, like, oh, you don't have to go to college, but then it's like you're not even doing your own basic research about our history, about, they call us immigrants. They found this nation. They're immigrants too. They want to call blacks immigrants, Latinas, all Mexicans, like, but they're immigrants as well. So I just think I would change for us to be more knowledgeable about what's going on. And even with, I know a lot of people don't want to be into politics, but just knowing what's going on around us, it's so much power in knowledge, and that's why they wanted to take that from us. That's why they would literally cut the tongues from slaves' mouths, because they were learning how to read, they were learning how to write. So we just need to acquire knowledge.
Interject.
Sure can.
Another thing that I also wanted to just say, going through all of this, I think the best, I've said this before, I think the best way to really, really stand up for yourself, give back, or success.
Wow, that's beautiful.
I think the best, I just feel like the best way, success. They cannot take that from you. Whether it is through college, through education, through owning your own business, or just success. That's when you finish school.
I was reading that now that more blacks are acquiring a bachelor's degree, now they're lowering the pay rate for that. So that just shows you, it's just evil stuff like that. It just shows you that knowledge is power, and going for your education, that's something nobody can take from you, is your education.
Definitely.
So,
and then if you add a little Holy Ghost to it, too.
And God first. God first, education. That's what we need. All right, y'all?
And I'm telling y'all now, every time y'all tell me, Leticia, you're so smart. That Holy Ghost.
Amen. So, what do you guys think about the term Black Lives Matter?
I think it's a beautiful term, because with the things that are going on, we gotta let it be known. We do matter too.
Right.
And it doesn't mean that other lives don't matter. It's just at this day, this point in time, Black lives, they matter. And we're just trying to let you guys know they matter.
Right.
We matter.
Right. You guys can stand with us on that, because we're just trying to bring awareness to our life. And like Nelly just said, that doesn't mean your life doesn't matter. That doesn't mean a white person's life doesn't matter, any other race. We're just saying our lives matter, because we're literally just being killed.
Because it's too much that has been against us.
Right.
Too intentional.
Since
too
the
many
beginning of
doors
time.
being closed. Too many black women coming up missing.
Right.
It's just time for us to just stand up and just say, Black lives do matter. And like my baby sister said, yes, all lives do matter. Yes.
Right.
As a human race, yes, all lives do matter.
Right.
That at this time, at this day and age, Black lives matter.
And it's sad that we even have to say Black lives matter.
To let you guys know.
Yeah.
It should be known. It should be happening. It should be seen.
Right.
The fact that we have to say Black Lives Matter
It's sad.
is because our lives are being treated as they don't matter.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why it's a phrase.
So thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far, like I always
Please
say,
like and subscribe.
yes.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Leave us some comments.
Yeah, leave some comments.
Let us know what else y'all want to hear, what other videos y'all want us to make.
Talk to us.
Give
We want to talk.
suggestions.
Yeah.
Bye, keepers. Love you
Bye.
guys.
Bye.
We matter.
But yeah, this is definitely causing a huge
Controversy.
This is causing a huge controversy.
Controversy.
This is causing a huge controversy.
Sarah?
Controversy.
But it's okay. But
Oh my God.
what's up, keepers? Happy Juneteenth.
So today is our celebration for Juneteenth.
So, if you guys have, what will I say? If you guys have
That's what this paper was for, to write down what you wanted to say.
any traditions, oh yeah, I got it.
You guys have-
Because look it, we were literally slaves,
For sure.
getting paid 10 cents, if that.
paid?
Nothing.
When was we getting paid?
We was getting lynched. We
What
was
book
getting,
were you reading?
We was getting murdered.
What book were you reading?
Ooh, people dying, people crying. Blacks getting killed every day and taken away.